President and CEO of the Chamber. Um, the sun's trying to come out today, so that will be very nice for all of us. So we're really pleased to have with us again in our quarterly Q&A our Mayor, Shaunna O'Connell, and Jay Patikis and Patrick Delarusso from her staff as well. We last met with the mayor in September, and as you've heard and can see all around the city, there's been a lot going on since September. So we're happy to get an update on that. And I first want to thank this session sponsor, which is Morton Hospital, and invite Heidi Taylor. Hopefully she's popped on this call to say a few words about our favorite community hospital, Morton Hospital.
Thanks, Chris. I too just want to acknowledge the mayor and her team and the great work they are doing around the city, and looking forward with the change of the seasons to see even more so. Morton is really honored to sponsor this event and continue to collaborate with the community and strengthen our outreach. Just a few highlights. Most of you know, we've transitioned to Brown University Health over the past year and a half, and we continue to bring services back to the community, which is so needed. So just wanted to let you know we have a new PCP practice opening up this summer at Northwoods. We all know PCPs are in such demand, and the supply is not keeping up with the demand. So happy to say that we are opening our first Brown University Health practice. In addition to PCPs, we recently added 3D mammography to not only the hospital campus, but also our campus at our Middleborough facility in Foxborough as well. And we are in the near future opening a neurology clinic and also in retail pharmacy. So a few initiatives that are really exciting, and you should hear more about them in the next few months. So thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I look forward to the updates today.
Thank you, Heidi. That is exciting to see these services coming back to this area, especially your retail pharmacy where we've had, as we know, the closing of all the Walgreens in the city. So that would be tremendously helpful. Thank you so much, Heidi. I'll turn it over to Mayor O'Connell for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see everybody. So we really appreciate the opportunity that the Chamber gives us to kind of get together with everybody on a regular basis to give updates. There's always some really great stuff happening in Taunton, new projects, developments, initiatives, beautification. And so keeping you updated is really important to us. Our team is always hard at work to really move Taunton forward, make it the best it can be, pay attention to every neighborhood in our community, and work with our businesses and organizations and these wonderful partnerships we have to do some really good work here. So I know there's some great questions for us today that we're looking forward to. And I also want to just thank Heidi and Morton Hospital. They are so vitally important to this community. And Heidi has been through transitions that most people probably couldn't survive. So congratulations to her. And we're just thrilled that we now have Brown University as partners with us as well here in the city of Taunton. So Chris, I'll just hand it right back over to you so that you can get started.
Thank you very much, Mayor. We'll get started with the first question, which we always appreciate, the update on the city's capital improvement and economic investment plan.
Okay, so we are in our 5th year of our capital improvement programs, something that the city of Taunton hasn't had before, a substantial funded program with real projects that get done. And this year it's about $54 million. And we are, and Patrick can help fill in some info here too, but we are doing things like Memorial Park. Hopefully people have been by there and seen the progress that's happening there. It is going to be absolutely beautiful. And we are kind of fixing, I guess, the pond that everybody is so fond of. And I know like so many of here of us on this call have kind of grown up as kids going there, bringing our kids there. So it really is going to be this new, beautiful gathering spot for families, for kids, and for our community. We're also always working on our infrastructure. After this winter, you know, our beautiful roads are going to need some more work. So we'll be doing that as well. And our public buildings. So just catching up with things and keeping up with things so that we are always in a good spot, you know, with our capital improvement projects. And one thing that our capital improvement project includes that is very unique is community programs for like human services types of needs. So we've worked that into our capital improvement program as well. Patrick, do you want to get into any
Sure.
specifics about what we got?
I think some of the big highlights, of course, is going to be the Coyle building, the final funding phase of that to get that building 100% ready to become a brand new school has been funded in the CIP5. That's the mayor's put in $13.7 million after that funding to bring that school up to standards and up to an appropriate standard. That saved the taxpayers $120 million. I can't stress that like enough. Like the purchase of that building and the renovation of it saved the taxpayers $120 million for the city of Taunton. That was huge. And something else I think that's very unique about the mayor's capital program is the grant matching fund that we have a balance of over $1 million that kind of allows Jay's office to operate knowing that there's match money available, which makes Taunton it's more advantageous for Taunton to receive grants because we already have the money for the match. So that's really put us in the driver's seat, and that's really been a game changer. And one of those matches is actually that helped us was with the $3.2 million or so at Whittenton Mills to get the grant to finish that infrastructure project for the 390 unit project that's going in there.
Thanks so much, Patrick. And on to our next question. What can you tell us about the city being recognized with the Comprehensive Financial Report Award?
Oh, that is exciting too. Another first for our city. So this is our third year getting that award. Patrick, what's the name of the ACFR?
ACFR is the annual comprehensive financial report.
ACFR, yeah.
And so to the mayor's point, that it's never happened before. The city has now created this the third consecutive year. It's a standard now for us. It's just how we operate as a unit, as a team. It involves all of the divisions of the city to kind of participate and cooperate. It's a very in-depth program to even be considered for. In fact, only a handful of cities even get recognized for this in the Commonwealth. So it's a huge deal. Something that the city should be very, very proud of. And it shows the mayor's dedication to being 100% transparent about everything that the city does.
Yeah, it is. It's a very prestigious award, and most communities don't apply for it because it is so much work. And the criteria to actually receive it is very, very high. So our finance team has done amazing work to make sure that Taunton reaches the highest standards possible when it comes to finance, when it comes to transparency. And we're looking forward to our fourth ACFR award.
It has been filed. It has been filed.
That sounds great. Congratulations on that. So let's talk about the housing. There's a lot of housing going up. Obviously, there's a need for that, and we see a lot of developments going up around the city. What can you give us as far as an update on that?
Sure. And we can't stress enough the need for housing. You see it in the news all the time. You hear it all the time how there's such a lack of housing, all types of housing, affordable housing, market rate housing, condos, houses, apartments. So we're taking a very diverse approach because you need a diverse portfolio of housing for a successful community and strategic, smart growth. So one of the biggest projects that you probably know we have happening right now is the Whittenton Mills project. And that is moving forward full steam ahead. That is 390 apartments. with a lot of beautiful outdoor space and amenities. So it's going to be a very beautiful development at, a site that has been blighted and crumbling and just sat idle for, well over a decade. Um, and all the other things we do tie in because we purchased this Coyle School that gives us 800 more seats for our students. So we really think about the effects of growth as well. And Whittenton Mills also has 2 commercial spaces. So that's really just going to bring foot traffic there, new businesses there, and really elevate the level of that neighborhood. And we're also on Ware Street, right next to Bobby's Place, 74 Ware Street. Another place that has just had businesses in and out and in and out for a long, long time. And it's turned into this beautiful 4-story development. What's your Jay? 36 apartments there? Yeah,
Yes.
36 apartments. And that also has amenities. Those are smaller apartments that will hopefully be more affordable for people, but they are market rate. And so that's going to attract, hopefully young professionals, young individuals, maybe, older folks without children. And developing the downtown with more housing is important because, again, it brings more foot traffic. Foot traffic brings more businesses. So it all kind of ties in together. We are looking, Oak Street is another one that is going to be coming up. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with where Gurley's is, but then there's that ugly red building kind of adjacent to it across the street. That's been there for a very long time. Was it an oil company or Jay, what was it?
Columbia Gas.
Columbia Gas. It's been a couple of different things. So there's 3 parcels right there, and that has been a problem, with loitering and dumping, and it's sat there for many, many years, kind of crumbling as well. It took us, I don't know, months, maybe close to a year, Jay, to
Yeah,
get
it's
together.
been a painful process, but it's almost there.
So 3 different owners, but our team is relentless. We worked with them. We finally got it to 1 owner. So now that's going to be developed into senior housing. And we are looking at potentially 100% affordable senior housing because we know there's such a need for that as well. And it's a great location. It's right across from our beautiful new park. So that's that, and that'll kind of infuse some brightness into that neighborhood as well. 1141 County Street near the train station, that shovels have been in the ground. We've done the groundbreaking for that. That's about what, 280 units?
275. Yep.
275, and with also commercial space right near the rail. We are also doing worked with the developer for the old Longmeadow Nursing Home, the White House in front. That took many months as well. And that is going to be, housing with services for, it's going to be veteran preference. And there'll be services included there as well, like mental health, workforce, and things like that. So we're really thrilled that we're going to have, kind of our first time veterans preferred development here in time. Jay, I'll pass it on to you to highlight a few more.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think the mayor has covered everything. I think for the commuter rail spot, that those apartments will be ready in January. And for the 74 Ware Street, we're about a month or 2 away from them being rented. So there'll be 2 commercial spots on the first level. So that'd be great. We're still trying to fill those, but I think it's just going to contribute to more of a vibrant downtown area. There's more housing planned above the laundromat is going to be right next door is going to be another 10 units, and there's more proposed as we speak now. So a lot of housing going on.
And on April 7th, where the mayor's put forward a proposal to the city council for Hopewell School to be declared surplus to continue to add to our affordability component for housing. That's going to be on April 7th in the Public Property Committee.
Wow, that's amazing. Next question is kind of similar to that. We're talking about the blighted properties. So I know a number of them are being either torn down or converted for housing, but can you talk about what some of the other blighted properties, what movement's been going on with some of those other properties?
Oh, sure. I think I'll pass that on to Patrick, who kind of runs the blighted property team. So you can give us an
Sure.
update on.
Sure. So we've been working. We targeted back. Let's start back in November of 2024. The mayor tasked us with kind of doing a spinoff of our marketable property program. City identified about 15 or so blighted properties. Part of the strength of that program is that it's not a program where we want to just take something over and tear it down. In fact, we've been able to identify the families of some of these owners, and they kind of fallen down on hard times, or they may have some mental health issues, and the families come in and help take the properties over and move on from them and get them sold. So we went through a series of those. We ended up being successful with 7 out of the first 15 or so were just immediately handled. Now our focus has been on working on the commercial side, where recently we just got a modification to the city's ordinances that came through the blighted properties program to allow us to find commercial owners that have vacant lots. That's another first in the city. So we're able to encourage people to either do something with the facility or move on from it. That's the primary focus of that. So we don't have vacant lots, and it allows Jay's office to kind of continue to spur economic development in the city, which is what the mayor's whole plan was all along. As far as properties go, there's the one property that we're in particular circling around right now to try to see some improvements on is Planet Petroleum. That's going to go in front of the city council for, I believe, a hearing in the very near future, I believe. So we've kind of shifted from the residential side, and now we're focusing now on the commercial side to continue to help Jay's office carry out the mayor's vision.
There is another large property in Whittenton that we're looking at trying to work with the owners to get developed. That's been vacant for I don't even know how long, well over a decade. So it's a lot of work to work with the owners because they have special ties to their property and can sometimes have some unrealistic ideas of the worth and value. So we try to very gently work with them to get them to a good spot where we can match them with a developer and get it developed.
Are you talking about the Pool Silver building on Whittington Street? Because that's I've been working on that's a good 15,000 square foot building. Needs repair and updating, but that's about the size of the interest we have to buy in the area. So I mean, I'm encouraged to see if that's the building you're concentrating on, because there certainly will be an get somebody if they can get them to sell that building. Family has been very, very slow to respond to. I started when I was there, and Jay, I know, is probably working on it now. The other building I'm concerned about, this is Dick Schaefer, by the way, is Roseland. I just heard at a meeting there last week, the owner had informed me that not only is he still not able to use the ballroom that he renovated to quite a large sum of money. It's beautiful, would be great to use for city community events. He hasn't been able to use that. And not only that, but the 200 people every Sunday afternoon that used to come in for ballroom dancing are, excuse me, are now shut out. Now, you think about that economic wise. 200 people coming into Taunton for ballroom dancing, probably having lunch or dinner before and after, gasoline, other shopping they may do when they come. And they're not able to get to a facility that housed them beautifully and was a wonderful place for many, many years. Ballroom dancing has been in that building for over 50 years. And
And
the
Dick,
city needs to help with trying to get the departments to be all together to make that reality.
Dick, just so you know, that is completely a state level issue, not the city at all.
It's
We've had
state?
conversations, and it is at the state level that they need to work.
Wow,
So
I don't
I'll get
understand.
back to
But
Chris.
okay, I'll follow back on why it would be a
Yeah, we
state
can
level.
chat.
Okay, all right.
Thank,
Well, I'm glad to hear that somebody's looking at it. Thank you.
thank you. So I had a question about because I'm seeing some activity there, which is very exciting, and it's the property right at the corner of Taunton Green and Weir Street. That building that had been,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So what's happening there?
No. So another building, I think the city had, had owned part of it. I think we sold, if you're facing it kind of the left side, to somebody who wanted to open a little restaurant. And then we worked with the owner. It's a weird setup where they're joined, but different owners. We worked with the owner of the other side because it was in really poor condition to the point where it's getting dangerous. And so now they're renovating that building, which we're thrilled about because that's been a long time coming. And we were, so glad to work with them and help them be able to kind of get to a place where they decided that they could do that. And, that's like, front and center on the green. And we've just done that beautiful new park there. So I'm not sure if Jay has more or Patrick has more info on exactly what the renovations are.
Yeah, it's just facade improvements to that building. I mean, the bricks were caving in on the side. I know you had wanted to do a mural on the wall until it was deemed that it was impossible and that it needed to be fixed. So it's more facade improvements, but that's also right next door is the new Cape Verdean restaurant that's going to be Cape Verdean American restaurant that's going to be coming in at 21 Ware. So it'll be a good segue at least to a new restaurant coming right there.
That's great. I was excited to see that one. Like you said, front and center, and it's everything is so beautiful. So I was so happy to see that happening. So moving on. So I saw a story in the Gazette last month about the Healthy Outcomes Fund. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So that's one of several kind of what I will call human services funds that we've created. We know that some people, struggle to kind of make ends meet every month, especially our seniors tend to have some challenges, people that are on fixed incomes. So it's another fund in our portfolio to help with basic necessities. And this one is very specific to providing to organizations that provide food and or food services and or shelter. So what we found was that some of our, our daily bread, for instance, had some challenges around securing food to, feed everybody there, a place where everybody knows that they can go and get a hot meal and, spend some time with other folks. So it was an effort to help fund different organizations just in Taunton that serve Taunton residents with shelter services or food services. And that's Patrick, how much is that fund? Is it 100,000?
We put 70 because it's so new. The mayor proposed $75,000 to kind of see what the community needs is for it. So currently it stands at 75,000, and we've dispersed funds to two organizations out of it so far.
That's great. Very much needed, that's for sure. You mentioned Memorial Park, which is very exciting. What's happening in East Taunton? Because I thought I heard something about a splash pad.
Yes. Everybody knows I love my splash pads. So, we got the one done down the Ware. And like I said, we really want to pay attention to all of our neighborhoods. And it can be difficult to get things done in East Taunton because it's hard to get grants for that part of the city for different reasons. And I wanted to build a splash pad there. So we wanted to make sure that there's something for, families and kids to do. And we've been looking for a long time for a piece of property. And believe it or not, it was hard to find a piece of property in Taunton in East Taunton where we could put it. We were looking for city-owned property. So it's going to be at Taunton West Little League Field. Is it?
Taunton East.
Excuse me, that didn't even make sense. Taunton East Little League Field. And so we've worked with them, probably for 8-10 months now, something, to come to an agreement because they own the property where we can put the splash pad there. There's plenty of room, there's plenty of parking. So they're going to benefit from, some new, sewerage, Patrick?
New sewer and paving.
Yeah, and paving, and we're going to benefit from being able to put the splash pad there. And someone did raise a concern, or a few folks, about, well, they have games there, but the season for baseball and the summer season don't exactly coincide, so they don't really overlap too much. So there really shouldn't be a problem. But we're excited that that's going to come before council tonight, actually, I think. And so we're hopeful that that's approved and that we can get moving on that.
100%.
Oh, those families in East Taunton will be very happy to hear that. Thank you. So the casino's been expanding since they first opened, with additional kind of trailer units going in there, and they recently got their full liquor license. So what does the future look like for the casino at this point?
Sure. So I believe they're at about 300 slots now. They will be continuing the concert series this summer, as far as we know. And that was hugely popular last year, although it will not be a bring your own booze anymore. So that part is going to go away. And then I'll pass it on over to Jay. We don't have I'm not sure that we have their specific plans, but we've had conversations with them where, eventually they'd like to have a venue there. They'd like to have, this kind of burger type brewery place there. Jay, do you want to fill in any info?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we continue to wait for a design for the building. I mean, we've had talks where it's something, a little bit bigger than Plain Ridge, that's going to feature a restaurant on the site, and then hopefully eventual phases will include a hotel that we desperately need in the city. But as of right now, they are extremely busy. For those who haven't been by, we go by sometimes at like 8:30, 9 a.m., and it's already full of cars. So they're doing great. And one of the big things that came out of a recent meeting was that they just partnered with local Berkeley beer to sell Berkeley beer there at the facility. So we appreciate that very much. And like the mayor indicated, they will be starting their concert series. We'll probably be hearing more about it in a couple of weeks. They're lining up the talent now. And for those who went to the concerts, I mean, we got so many compliments about, how professional and how great the concerts were and stuff. So it's definitely something that they wanted to continue. So we should have a schedule probably in the next couple of weeks. But when we get an idea about a design, of course, we'll let everyone know, but that time hasn't come yet.
Great. Thanks, Jay. I know they're excited to engage more with the community as well. So as you know, they've done we've had some outreach with them, and we're excited to work with them as well. So all good things there. So the public safety building, I had the pleasure of getting a sneak peek at that back a few months ago, and Jay kind of teased it's almost ready to open. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we are in transition. It's a significant undertaking to move an entire police department, an entire fire department over to a new building. As you can imagine, just all of the different, pieces of equipment and technology, and a lot of bodies as well. So there are a few folks that are there now. Everything, I think, Patrick, is in there as far as the technology, the furniture, all that.
Right.
So it's like a phased move, and we think it'll probably take until the end of June, Patrick, to be fully moved over there.
To be fully moved over with both departments. Yes, the mayor's 100% correct. The first phase is to get police command staff in, which is underway now. Second phase will be to bring patrol over. Third phase will be to launch 911 and get the fire department over at that time.
And so, the leadership at the police department, the chief and the captains, have been working very closely to kind of oversee this whole transition. Chief Walsh has been, I think, to every meeting for the last 2 years about, the construction and the moving and just so many things that come up in these meetings. So it's been a long process, but it's been a fairly quick build as far as we're concerned. It was a project that we felt moved forward very efficiently and effectively. And we're really glad that, Chief Walsh is so knowledgeable about all the particulars and helped really design this whole building because not all chiefs get involved at that level. And the fact that he has been is very helpful to us as we make this transition and move over there.
So that's exciting, and we can't wait for the big grand opening. But along those lines, when you look at the other fire stations, I know there's been a lot of discussion around the other old fire stations in the city, and specifically the one in the Weir. So what can you tell us about the plans for that?
We have a program that we started to look at replacing the 3 other fire stations that are well over 100 years old. And so it was kind of historic to even be able to do this new public safety facility and replace the central station and the police station. Now we're moving on to our next project, which is to replace the Ware Fire Station, which is very cramped and old and just not a great working environment either for our firefighters. So we've actually progressed pretty far in that where it's going to be right next to Biss Lumber. So the owner of that parcel agreed to do like a friendly taking with us. So we're paying for that. Well, it was identified as really the best spot for it. Patrick, what's our next step in that?
So the next step is that right now the construction documents have been finalized, and those documents are going to go out to bid the last week in March, and then that process will take about 60 days to get a general contractor under contract. What's very special about the mayor's projects with the fire station, same as the public safety facility, is that when we bid our projects in March, there's nobody else in the Commonwealth that's bidding out a fire station project right now. So we're going to get a very competitive and advantageous price because the city's capital improvement program is in between when towns go out to the market to do that, where it's flush. So everybody kind of wants to lock in work for the next 3 years. So we're expecting the bid to be under our proposed budget, which is fantastic. And once we get a GC on, the build will take on this probably 2 to 2.5 years.
Thank you for that update.
Chris, one more thing too is
Yep.
I know that the mayor's always promoted to be proactive about these buildings. We've got a lot of activity and interest in these buildings when they do get RFP'd. I know there's one that was a distillery brewery that was interested in going into one of them. Just want people to understand that parking is kind of limited, especially in the Ware Fire Station. Next time you go by the Ware Fire Station, take a look at how much parking is available. It's probably like a combined 4 or 5 spots. So it's something that's really hard to bring in, businesses to some of the stations, but there's other stations that have a little more parking. And we've definitely had some interest in the old police building too when that gets vacated. So there's definitely a lot of people that are reaching out about the potential development opportunities there.
Great. Thanks, Jay. So I want to allow some time here for anything else that's going on in the city that we haven't touched on. I also want to allow a few minutes for folks to put questions in the chat, follow-up questions, new topics, and whatnot. So I'll turn it over to you, Mayor, Jay, and Patrick, if there's anything else going on that we haven't touched on yet.
Sure. One thing I just want to touch on is something we just actually kind of wrapped up. We're always trying to be kind of innovative, think out of the box, and look for ways to support our local businesses. And I think our team has done a really good job over the past 6 years of finding ways to help, promote them, support them, get them started, and, keep them where they are. Our latest program was a technological assistance program. Jay, what did we call it?
I think it was a marketing assistance program for business.
Okay. So that was about $80,000, I think. Yep,
Yep.
$80,000 that we partnered with, it's a grant program. We partnered with NeighborWorks to give up to $5,000 grants to our local businesses to help them, either build or rebuild their website, do marketing, do social media. So I think 15 businesses have participated in that and benefited from that. And they're really just thrilled that they can have some more outward facing marketability with this program. One of them, I think, is Serendipity Bookshop. So now they can do online sales, for instance. So the benefits of just, improving or building your website are pretty significant.
And these are monies that came from the marketable properties program that the mayor created, where we sell properties and my department gets half of it. So we're able to provide this kind of grant to the businesses. To Talisa on Main is another one. Her new website just launched. So it's just awesome to see these businesses getting, some much needed help.
Congratulations on getting one of the oldest businesses on Main Street to have a new sign, I
Oh,
understand.
yes.
So that's been a long time coming. Great, great, great. Thanks.
That's supposed to be going up today. The mayor too. You want to talk about the former Galleria Mall tenant too?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. I'll let you do that.
Okay. So finally, after all this time, there was a 248,000 square foot building that was built at the former mall site. We are proud to say that we have a tenant, Primo Water. It's going to bring 50 new full-time jobs into the city. And the most important thing about that is it kind of breaks the seal. Everybody knows with new development, sometimes businesses are leery. We've had a lot of companies that were interested in the mall site because it's such a great off the highway site. But now that we have a tenant for the first building, the next building will be 450,000 square feet. So we've already got some interest in that. We had a biopharmaceutical firm that reached out that was interested in the site. So we feel that that development will finally get more interest. We also have a potential restaurant and convention center looking at one of the smaller parcels. And I think the chamber would agree that we need a bigger venue in the city to host bigger events, wedding events, and stuff like that. So this is something that we've been working on, and we're trying to figure out if it's something that can happen at the former Galleria Mall site.
That would be amazing, Jay. My gosh, please. Your words to God's ears. Boy, do we need that.
Jay, did we touch on bacon felt?
We haven't.
Yeah, want to give an update on that?
Yeah, sure. So I know we get a lot of questions about the Bacon Felt site. We were just there this morning, and it's almost 100% cleaned up. Probably another couple days, and they'll be set to go. And then the shipping containers, there'll be 20 shipping containers that will be dropped this summer. So I talked to him this morning. He's had a lot of food interest. So we've got a homemade pasta and sauce company that's coming in. There's some other different food, diverse food. He's actually asking for more retail. So there's something that the rent is, I think it's starting at about 800 per shipping container. I know there's a maintenance fee too, but it's something that, is reasonable rent to attract to this beautiful area of the city that we're just focused on more. I mean, now that old factory across the street that was knocked down, FB Rogers, and it's a beautiful waterway there. I think this is going to be like the destination for Taunton. So we're hoping this summer we'll get that going. Now the city had gotten a grant to knock down the first story building, which most people have seen. That four-story building that's still there, that's the owner of the property. He now owns that property, so he's deciding on whether he's going to knock it down or not. He's getting pricing on knocking down the four-story building, so that's something that he'll be dealing with in the future. But the 20 shipping containers are supposed to drop this summer.
Yeah, so we're looking for retail, any locals that, want to sell their products there, or maybe a collaborative of local businesses. And there's also the possibility for services too, beautification or aesthetic services, yoga. So really think out of the box. You can really kind of do anything there.
Yeah, as Taunton's oldest seaport, the folks at the Taunton River Watershed Alliance are very happy about the renovation there and the improvements. And we're getting a lot of interest from our boaters on the and canoe and kayak enthusiasts. I know he's looking to do a livery, canoe kayak livery, and then add in places that they could visit when they park. You know, they come off the ramp there, like an ice cream shop, other businesses. So it's really great to see that move forward. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for that update, Jay. I met with Joseph also. Same, just so much enthusiasm with the different food vendors that will be there. You know, they'll have outside seating there. Obviously, you talked about the kayak rentals and just really, really just invigorating that whole space and maximizing that beautiful waterfront. So everybody's really excited for that. Thank you for the update. Anything else that hasn't been mentioned? And I'll open it up to our participants, our audience today to throw any additional questions in the chat.
So it looks like more about the grant matching fund. What types of grants are we pursuing? So Patrick, do you want to elaborate on that a little bit? Because it's really when, the city applies for grants that require a match, we're prepared with this funding to be able to go after those grants so it gives us this competitive advantage over many cities who do not have this type of grant matching fund. So maybe
Sure.
Patrick could elaborate
Yeah,
on how we
sure. So for this particular round of funding, Jay's office identified $6.5 million in grant opportunities. Those included a MassWorks grant, a Housing Works grant, a Shared Streets grant, a grant to improve Cobb Brook, as well as a brownfield grant of $500,000 to clean up blighted sites. So what we did was put forward $802,000 additional dollars to support the matching amounts of those efforts. Those are just some of them. So it's a plethora of grant opportunities. Like the mayor's laser focused on how to spend other people's money rather than the Taunton taxpayers' money. So our mission all the time is to kind of look at things very broadly. In Jay's office, I just have to give a shout out to Heather Rios in Jay's office. I mean, she is just so amazing at her ability to identify these grant opportunities. And so those are some of the ones that we've done out of the 802,000 that we just talked about.
Thanks, Patrick. Any other questions from our audience today?
I don't have a question, but I have a kudos to the city and the mayor and Jay for the new park on Oak Street, the senior park, as they call it. I drive by there quite often, and the use of that is growing every day. It's beautiful. The neighborhood really appreciates it, and the new housing development at the nearby will certainly add to it. So again, great job on that, and it's a wonderful addition to that area. Thanks.
Thank you, Dick. Jay, can you see the chat? There's a question I think that you would probably be best suited to answer.
Hold on. I'm having trouble.
It says, are we pursuing HUD-based grants for seniors to modify their homes for safety and accessibility as Quincy is offering?
Yeah, that's something that we can definitely pursue. Jim, I don't know, you're on the call. Can you pipe in on the HUD side on that, if you could? He's probably not expecting to talk, but I know he knows a little bit more about that. But we'll get back to that one.
Well, it's definitely something we would want to pursue because the ability to receive grants to help seniors is really important. And so we try to be very active, and we recently got some information, and Jay and Jim already might have had it, but I recently became aware of these grants for seniors to modify their homes. So definitely something Taunton would be interested in pursuing if we're not already.
Absolutely.
Thank you. If there are no other questions from our audience today, I just want to thank very much our mayor, Patrick and Jay, for taking the time to be with us, for always providing these updates, and for the amazing growth of this city and what a great team you are with each other, and also what a great partner you are with the chamber and our members. So thank you also very much for that. Thanks for the dog park is one of the comments in the chat too. So, so
All right,
thanks.
well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for taking the time out of your morning this morning to be with us. And I hope you have a wonderful night tonight at the Taste of Time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank
Great
you. Have
day,
a good day.
everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Take care.